Today we're going to be giving you our top 3 risk management tips for binary options. And tip number 1 is about the 5% rule. We recommend never going above 5% of your account balance per trade. A lot of people do this, but it's because they have a one-dimensional way of thinking, and all they think about is the amount of profit it can bring them. What you need to realize is that risk management is very important because you are always going to come across losses. So you need to be keeping your trade amounts to less than 5% of your total balance. Personally, we use 1 to 2% of our entire account balance per trade, but some people are a little bit more aggressive than that and they go for as high as 5%, but we definitely recommend do not go higher than 5%. Tip number 2 is to set a consistent daily trade limit. Now what I mean by this is to avoid over trading. You want to set some form of trade limit and you must remain consistent with it. So what I mean by that is set some sort of a limit as to how many profits you want to get before you stop, or losses. So you can have a rule where you say, if I hit 5 profits first or 3 losses, whichever one comes first, I'm going to stop for the day. Or you can set yourself an actual trade limit. Say, for example, you're going to take 5 trades per day, regardless of what the results are of those trades. So definitely a great tip is to set some form of a daily trade limit, whether it be a profit loss limit or a trade amount limit. And this ties into risk management as well. If you lose multiple trades in a row, if you don't have any sort of trade limit and you say to yourself you're just going to trade the whole day and see what happens, you will most likely blow your account in that entire day. I cannot stress to you how important risk management is and following a good system is in terms of your risk management. Even with experience, someone like myself, if I were to trade all day the style of trading that I trade, I would most definitely end up blowing my account in a day. And it just, when you become a bit more experienced, you'll realize that you need to set some form of daily trade limits to avoid over trading. And the last tip is about martingaling. Now this is a hot topic in the binary options community. A lot of people think that this is the greatest way to just maximize your profits. And if you don't know what martingaling is, basically what it means is if your first trade is a loss, just double up on that trade amount the next trade. So when you do eventually profit, you win back everything you've lost. So your first trade would be $1, your second trade would be maybe $3, your third trade, if you've lost those first 2, would be maybe $8, and etc, etc, etc. You just carry on bumping up the amount, so when you do eventually hit that profit, you make back all your money. Now this is one of the worst things you can do. You will most definitely end up blowing your account if you use martingaling, and the only way martingaling could ever be successful is if you literally had billions of dollars in your account. You'll see if you double up every time, it doesn't take that many losses in a row for you to start risking huge amounts. If I'm not mistaken, if you have a $400 account, I may be wrong, but it's something like if you have a $400 account, if you martingale, you only need to lose 8 trades in a row to blow that entire account. Now if you've been trading long enough, you'll realize that to lose 8 trades in a row is pretty realistic. It can most definitely happen, and it most definitely will happen to you at some point in your trading journey. So martingaling is probably the biggest tip I can give, is to definitely stay away from martingaling. Use the 5% rule. Do not ever put a trade amount larger than 5% of your account balance. Set a consistent daily trade limit, and by that I don't mean risk 5% of your account and then you have a daily trade limit of 20 trades a day. At the end of the day, you can blow your entire account that way. So make it realistic. Have a good 3% maybe that you're risking per trade. Set a consistent daily trade limit, such as 5 trades for the entire day, win or lose, and you're going to stop. And then never ever martingale. I hope that advice helps you. Please like this video, leave a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to the channel for daily binary options videos. If you are interested in learning how to trade binary options properly, do consider checking out our Viper binary strategy. It is the real way to trade binary options, and it is highly effective. If you're interested in this, go check us out, www.traderoomsessions.com. All the information you need is on the website.